नमस्ते, प्रणाम, गीता ध्यान। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 15th adhyay of Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Self. Having taught us about the three gunas which are the base cause of functioning of this creation, they make us behave certain ways that we are behaving, and they are keeping us trapped in this cycle of birth and death. And only one who has crossed over the three gunas, Sri Krishna has said, that person is fit to become one with the Brahman, with the Paramatman, with the Paramapurusha. And having explained to us in details in the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, now Sri Krishna is in the 15th Shloka has started telling us about that Supreme Self, that Purusha Uttama. And to start with the Purushottama Yoga, Sri Krishna has given us a simile of a banyan tree, a simile of the Ashwatha tree, which is the behavior, the phenomena of this Ashwatha tree is extremely similar to the Prakriti which has sprung up from the Purusha, which has been manifested from the Purusha. So in order to get into the subject matter of the Purushottama, Sri Krishna is first telling us about this Prakriti in the form of giving an example of the Ashwatha tree. Like Prakriti, which is a unique creation of the Purusha, which has got everything phenomenal in it. Same is the thing with the Ashwatha tree, which is unique. The trees falling in the genus of ficus, the fig family, they have a very unique property. These trees, whether it is people or whether it is banyan, they take their sap from above and then push it down to the lower parts of that tree. And in banyan tree specifically, we see the roots, they are on top. These are all the aerial roots kind of. These are not the roots which are, actually bound to the soil. The roots of the banyan tree are on top. From the top branch, suddenly a root will sprout. And then it will go down. Then after going down, it makes a firm contact with the soil below and makes that tree so strong, firmly fixed into the soil with the aerial roots. And therefore Sri Krishna has given this example of this tree, this avyaya tree. They talk about prahuhu avyayam. This tree is urdhvam mūla adhaścam. Ashwatham prahuravyayam. They talk about this imperishable tree of Ashwatha as the roots coming from top. Urdhvam mūlam adhaścam. And the branches are coming down. These roots which are coming from top, they take the form of the branches and then root themselves into the soil. Chandansi yasya paranani, whose leaves, this Ashwatha tree leaves, they are nothing but the the hymns of the Vedas. So those hymns, the chandas, Vedic hymns, they are written in a certain meter. So these chandas, these meters of the Vedas, of the Vedic hymns, they are the leaves. And Sri Krishna says, Yastam Veda Sa Vedavit. One who knows this is truly the knower of the Vedas. It is not that one who has mugged up all the Vedas, who can rattle off the Vedic hymns. He is not the Vedavid. He is not the real knower of the Vedas, but one who knows all the knowledge is spread around in this universe, is spread around in each and every leaf of this Ashwatha tree, of this tree of Sansara. That person is truly a learned man. And then for that person, everything is crystal clear. Till the time the person doesn't come near God, till the time the person doesn't come near reality, that person has vague ideas in his mind. That person has vague understanding, very confused understanding. It is all assumptions and conjectures. But when one comes near the reality, one sees that each and every leaf of this tree is nothing but filled with knowledge of the Vedas. Then that person, all the confusion, all the delusion, all the incohesiveness is lost and comes with the real nature of the thing. And for that, Sri Ramakrishna had given that beautiful example that also we had read. That when a person is approaching a market, till the time that person is away from market, he will only keep on listening to some kind of noise that is, coming from the marketplace. What conversation is going on, what is happening. He just doesn't know anything. That is just some vague noise, vague shouting this person is hearing. But as soon as the person comes near the market, then things start becoming clear. And as the person enters the market, everything is absolutely crystal clear. This person is haggling with the shopkeeper, for bargaining with the shopkeeper to reduce the price, or maybe at the same price give something more. So this is what happens when we start approaching the reality. When we start approaching the reality, then each and every leaf of this Ashwatha tree gives us knowledge. Then each and every leaf of this Ashwatha tree is enlightenment for us. Chandansi yasa parnani yatsa veda sa veda. With that person really is a knower of the Vedas. Because all the knowledge in this creation, it is said that it is contained in the Vedas. The ultimate knowledge is contained in the Vedas, the Yajurveda, the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. They are filled with knowledge. But simply reading the Vedas and rattling the Vedic hymns doesn't make one Vedavid. For that, one has to understand the reality. One has to enter the market to know what exactly is the conversation taking place between the buyer and the seller. So that was how Sri Krishna made the introduction of this Purushottama Yoga by giving a simile of the Ashwatha tree with this sansara, with this creation, with this prakriti. The second shloka that we are going to read today further continues the simile of this Ashwatha tree. And Sri Krishna says, adhaścordhvaṃ prasṛtāstasya śākhā guṇapravṛddhā viṣayapravālāḥ adhaśca mūlānyanusantatāni karmānubandhīni manuṣyaloke. Now Sri Krishna is telling us about the functioning in this universe, how this tree actually grows, how this tree gets its sustenance, its nourishment, and how it springs forth the new branches, the new roots. Now Sri Krishna is saying, adhaścordhvaṃ, adhaścordhvaṃ, below as well as above. Adhaścordhvaṃ prasṛtāstasya śākhā. Prasṛta is send forth, bring forth. This tree of Ashwatha, below and above, sends forth the branches. Branches are coming then from everywhere. From top they are coming to bottom, and they are sideways going. So that is how the proliferation of the Ashwatha tree starts. Adhaścordhvaṃ prasṛtāstasya śākhā. The branching out. The branching out is from all the directions, from bottom as well as from top. And guṇapravṛddhā. How is this tree nourished? This tree is nourished by gunas, guṇapravṛddhā, the three gunas, the sattva, rajas, tamas. They provide that nourishment for this tree to grow and grow and grow. If these three gunas are not there, Sri Krishna has said, you cross over the gunas and everything is gone. All that bubble which we are seeing, which we are playing around with, that bubble is burst. The moment we go beyond the gunas, the moment we cross over the gunas, the moment we become gunatita, gone. So these gunas, they are the nourisher. They are providing us all the inputs for this wonderful growth of the banyan tree, guṇapravṛddhā. And what is making the tiny buds grow further? Viṣayapravālāḥ. Pravālāḥ is bud. And what are these buds? Viṣaya, the sense objects. The sense object, the senses, the marriage between the senses and the sense objects. There are the sense objects. They lure the senses, tempted by the gunas again. The sense objects, the viṣayapravālāḥ, they are the buds from where new growth sprouts. So this is how this Ashwatha tree is growing and growing and growing. Adhaścordhvaṃ prasṛtāstasya śākhā guṇapravṛddhā viṣayapravālāḥ adhaśca mūlānyanusantatāni. This roots going down, roots spread from top, they are going down. Anusantatāni. Anusantatāni is they are stretched forward. Adhaśca mūlāni anusantatāni. And then what happens when this roots, they take a firm hold of the ground? Karmānubandhīni manuṣyaloke. In this world of men, in this world of beings, then starts karma anubandhini. Karma is action. Then starts the mode of action, karma anubandhini, that the roots which are coming from adhaśca mūlāni anusantatāni, from roots that are going down from the top to the human world, to the world of men, to the world of beings, to this living world which is filled with life and death. Then starts the process of karma, the action. And this is how this wonderful, this phenomenal, the Ashwatha tree, it keeps on proliferating. This is this entire the process of the proliferation of the Ashwatha tree that Sri Krishna has explained in this second shloka. This Ashwatha tree, the sansara, the prakriti, which is nourished by the gunas and whose tiny sprouting buds are the sense objects. And these roots, adhaśca mūlāni, the roots which come down to the world of men. The roots which come down to manuṣyaloke. What they do? Karmānubandhīni. They bind everybody, each and every being in this creation. They bind that being into the mode of action. Then the action starts, whether good or bad, holy or unholy, ethical or unethical, then everything starts. Pious or wretched, holy or unholy. The actions then start taking place in this world of men, in this manuṣyaloke. So this is what Sri Krishna has beautifully explained, the functioning and proliferation of this Ashwatha tree, of this prakriti, of this sansara, in this second shloka. So this, our world, our creation is exactly like the Ashwatha tree. And coming to Ashwatha tree, I always remember the saying of our Ma, Holy Mother Sharda Devi. Once one of our disciples, he took a tiny Ashwatha tree seed and showed it to Ma and said, Ma, see this tiny seed. And from this tiny seed of the Ashwatha tree, the banyan tree, or the people tree, comes forth such a gigantic banyan tree, gigantic people tree. And then Ma said, my son, the creation is exactly like this. It comes up just from a tiny piece, a tiny seed, and gets proliferated. Gets proliferated into a mighty samsara, into this mighty creation. That is the Lord's doing. And Sri Krishna in this second shloka has actually told us how this tiny seed coming into existence as a tree of Ashwatha springs forth, how it proliferates further and further and further. The gunas, the sense objects, and the roots coming from top and getting embedded in the manuṣyaloke, in the ground below. They get a firm footing, and that is what makes things work. That is what puts the beings into the cycle of action. And that cycle of action is the result, is the reason for our getting caught in this net and cycle of repeated births and deaths. So these are some crucial points that Sri Krishna has told us, has explained to us regarding the functioning of this creation, the functioning of this prakriti, and the proliferation of this creation, how it is going on. That was a really wonderful teaching in this second shloka of the Purushottam Yoga, the 15th adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.